Hello everybody and welcome back to the final of the Blue Mage quest. We are just about to go back into the Carnival and face against Azulmagia and see if we can win the Walaquee their lands back. Now I've already went and did a few of the stages for the Carnival, but as you can see I lost interest. So we are just about to go in here, and after running through this plenty of times with a bunch of practice runs, I think I have the whole thing planned out in my head. So I think I have all the spells that I need to beat him. Okay, first we're just going to start things off with a blast. Okay, so in this first stage here, he's going to be focusing on magic, and if you try to attack him with physical attacks like sharpened knife or drill cannon, it's going to do a lot of damage to you. So focus on using spells only, like magical spells such as what I'm using here. Those deal a lot of damage. Okay, so I'm doing pretty good damage so far. Some better than others. Song of Torment is a really good spell to have because it casts the bleed effect, and so he does lose points. So you don't have to do anything for that part. But it's really these big AoEs that you have to watch out for. Especially when you see the ram's voice and the dragon's voice. Those are the two that you have to watch out for. Like, there you go. There's the ram's voice, which will freeze you in place, which is really annoying. But the dragon's voice, oh, it paralyzes. Like a 30-second long paralyze, and it's just a nightmare to deal with. But right here, I think you've seen pretty much all the spells that he has for this first round. Yeah, so there are going to be 3 rounds you have to go up against him. So if you just remember to avoid these more dangerous spells, then I think that you can make it through pretty easily. As we move on to the next stage, I'll tell you more about some of the effects that you have to really focus on there. Come on, almost done. So once he's down to underneath, I'd say around 20% of his HP, I think it's safe to use the final sting method, which I found out by complete accident. But it turns out that if you use final sting or self-destruct and get his points down to 0, it still counts as a win even though it takes you out too. So as you can see, they're both out cold, but it still counts as a win and you can move on to the next step. Now here, it's pretty much going to be the same as the first round, only using magic is not a good idea on him. Like using the elemental spells against him, really not smart, because he's just going to be able to reflect all of the magic like right back to you. So this is a good chance to use things like drill cannon or sharpened knife. And he also has these angongs that you have to take out. They're pretty easy. Usually 2 or 3 hits can take them out, sometimes even 1 hit if you're strong enough. Okay, so those are down. And it's important that you take care of those as quickly as possible because they do cause the burn effect, and if you get hit enough times, then you're also taken out pretty easily. But he still uses a lot of the other spells from the first round, but like I said, it's best that you use drill cannon or sharpened knife to deal with him, because any other elemental spells, really not a smart idea. I think the exception would be the Song of Torment, which will still cause damage to you if you use it on him, but after that, it still causes a bleed damage. So I think that it's a risk worth taking. Just make sure you heal yourself immediately afterwards. And just remember to take care of these Argons as soon as possible. Yep, see, you get the burn damage effect. Okay, and there we go. But already we have him down pretty far. I mean, it seems a little bit boring to keep using the same attacks over and over, but like I said, there's really not too many options here with like the physical attacks. The drill cannon is definitely an ability you have to get before coming here and facing him. There we go. Now we move on to the third and most difficult round, and you are going to have to be really careful around here. There are a couple of spells that I think that you have to have, like one of them I'll be talking about in a moment. So for this final round, he's still going to be able to use all the spells that he could use before, plus a few new ones. But he's also going to be changing things around so that at one point you can't attack him with magic without doing harm to yourself. Other times you can use magic, but if you use a physical attack like drill cannon or something, it's just going to come back and hit you as well. So you're going to have to keep a close watch on his stats. Like right now, you can't hit him with magic, so just use physical attacks. And just remember to stay out of the AoEs. Okay, so when you see these 4 circles appearing, then you know the big attack is about to come. Just make sure you get out of the way. And there is one spell that you absolutely have to learn before you take this guy on. And that is the Loom ability, which will be able to teleport you. He casts heavy on you, and it's a different kind of heavy. Basically, you can't move whatsoever. Once that spell's cast on you, you can run all you want to, you won't be getting anywhere. Loom allows you to move to any other place on the battlefield. And so you absolutely have to have that ability before coming here. At least that's what I have to say. Because if you're standing in the place where that meteor is going to be dropping down on, yeah, it's pretty much automatic KO. Okay, so right now he switched things around so we can't attack him with physical attacks, so go ahead and use as many magical abilities as you want. You can tell that because he has the little snowflake up, like underneath the hotbar here. So that's the Icicle Sprites, the Ice Sprites, I think, ability. So it's basically a lot of moving around, and you just have to pay attention to what spells he's casting. Now that he's going back to the repelling spray ability, you have to go back to using the physical attacks. So he just repeats this all in a circle for a time until you actually get his points down. So you just have to pay close attention to what spells he's using, move where you have to, and you'll get him down in no time. Took me a few tries to be able to actually figure all of this out. Okay, as soon as he uses the web ability and freezes you in place, just use Loom. You have to use Loom twice in order to get out of the circle, but that's okay. And now we can use magical attacks again. So always save your cooldown magical effects for this part of the battle. Song of Torment, like I said, is a really good ability to have. And just continue to weaken him and launch your attacks over and over until Yep, we're almost there. Okay, so I think this should do it. There we go. He's down, and we just defeated Azulmagia. Oh, that was fun. So now that we've beaten him, we're out of the Mask Carnival, and then we can go and speak to the others one more time. Alright, so here we are back with all the others in the alleyway here. And we are about to complete this final quest for the Blue Mage, at least for Stormblood. And before we turn it in, let's see if they have anything new to say, like Sita here. You did it! Weiskrot was more powerful than I could have imagined, but you beat him. Yes, I did. We have the last quest, turning over Blue Leaf. Let's just see what Gahija has to say. Claire beat Weisskart. Now Claire's strongest Blue Mage. Maybe Martin should be your apprentice now. That would be fun. Okay, so turning over Blue Leaf, Latuja has an expression of overwhelming joy on his face. Or at least you think he has. That's funny. Okay, so let's see how the closing credits here for Blue Mage go. Claire beat Azulmagia. Latuja cannot believe it. I mean, I can believe it, because Latuja always believes in you. Anyway, well done. I cannot thank you enough. Lapis Canyon is safe. Nicely done, Claire. That sack of Gubo shite won't be bothering the Walaquee anymore. Spectacular! Stupendous! The performance of a lifetime! I never knew you had it in you, Claire. Of course I haven't forgotten about our agreement. As of today, I will be withdrawing my funding from the Cerulean Mine Project. Fools, you think you have defeated me? This place will be your burial ground. I think he's getting a little too into it. I tricked you for a moment there, didn't I? I must admit, I had grown rather accustomed to playing the villain. But enough is enough. The fact is, I lost our wager, so it's time I put an end to my plans for Lapis Canyon. I'm a businessman, not a monster. And I have you, Sita, and Martin to thank for reminding me of that. What, that's it? The New World is a vast, untamed land, and there are bound to be ways to acquire ceruleum without mining on sacred ground. Royce has even agreed to fund my next expedition. I will be leaving by ship within the next few days. Sita, would you care to join me? With you as my guide, perhaps I can avoid repeating the mistakes I made with the Walaquee. You're serious, aren't you? I accept your offer, if only so that I can keep you away from our land. Actually, I have heard of several places similar to Lapis Canyon to which no one has laid claim. Then you and I have much to discuss, but first I must prepare for the voyage. There is much to be done. I'll never forget you, Claire. If you ever have a chance to cross the Indigo Deep, you will always be welcome to stay with the Walaquee. Oh, I really do hope so. It would be so nice to visit the Walaquee. Hold your chocobos. As Azura II, there's no time to go gallivanting across the New World. You've got crowds to please, beasts to best, not to mention money to earn. Don't you go away now, darling. I go through the trouble of getting better and squeezing back into my costume, but it looks like you're her favorite now. Bloody charming, that is. Mind you, the epidemic's over, so I don't need to dance to her tune anymore. So why is Martin still dressed as Great Azuro? Because I think he secretly likes it. Well, there's no harm in earning a few gil while I think about my next move, is there? Latuja say Martin just like attention. I agree with that. Quest accepted. What? That's weird. Something occurred to me. All this business with the great Azuro and Azuro II's got everyone talking about blue magic. Those stuffy old bookworms in the Arcanist Guild never listened to me before, but this ought to make them take notice. In fact, I'm thinking about opening a Blue Mage Guild, partly as a way of rubbing my old guildmates' noses in it for rejecting my research, but also to help spread the knowledge across Eorzea. I'll need a fair bit of guild to get the idea off the ground, though. All the more reason to carry on as the Great Azuro. I'll show them that not even being half-eaten by some beast can keep me down. Of course, there's room in the Celestium for the both of us. After all, I wouldn't deny my favorite, and only, apprentice a chance at fame and glory. I find it funny that he hasn't realized that we are the Warrior of Light yet. Oh well, not much you can do. And here we go. This is the staff that we won against Azulmagia. And not bad. That looks pretty good. You got anything else to say, guys? Hello, mate. How's the spellbook coming along? Filled it up yet? As for your performances, if you keep this up, you'll have nearly as many fans as me. Utah, very interesting city. Even the cornmeal, like Matuja recipe. So much cornmeal, Latuja need 2 heads to eat it. Bet Latuja only have 1 head. Claire beat Wise Guards, yeah. So, okay. You got anything else to sell? Nope. Well, that's it for now. I hope you all enjoyed the Blue Mage questline. I know that I did. And hopefully we'll have more added on into the future. So, until next time, have fun.